Thunderbolts was awesome. Thunderbolts is the 36th entry in the MCU series. I've talked about the MCU once before, Marvel Comics' big money-making film series, based on all of their comic book characters. The Thunderbolts sees a group of former villains reluctantly team up to do some good. Most of them initially work for a high-up CIA director called Valentina, working as her private mercenaries. She's the absolute worst, however, trying to seize power and control over the government, and create the most powerful super soldier by experimenting and killing people. The government gets wind of all this, however, so she sends her mercenaries to get rid of all the evidence. But she also needs to get rid of her mercenaries who know too much. So she pits them all against each other. But they instead work together and vow to hunt down Valentina and bring her to justice, along with her small militia of military guys. The Thunderbolts include Yelena and Red Guardian from Black Widow, US Agent from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Ghost from Ant-Man and Wasp, Bucky from Captain America, and Bob, who was a test subject of Valentina's super soldier experiments. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to like and subscribe. We upload a great new video every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 3 p.m, so make sure you're subscribed with that bell pressed to get notified when we upload. We're trying to hit our goal of 1,000 subscribers, so if you subscribed, it would mean a lot to us. This movie won me over right away because right at the start they kill not Taskmaster. This was pretty obvious. If you've seen the Avengers Doomsday casting, not Taskmaster was the only one from the Thunderbolts not there. To catch you up, Taskmaster from the comics and cartoons is one of my favorite villains. A genius cold mercenary who can copy your moves and do them better. The guy dripping with main antagonist vibes. And then the Black Widow movie butchered him so badly, turning him into this brainwashed nothing Black Widow. I think they originally wanted her as a main Thunderbolt, but did not expect this MCU version to be universally hated by everyone. Fans who watched the film thought she was boring, and fans of Taskmaster like me felt insulted. I mean it, this was like not Deadpool from the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie for a whole new generation. But now that not Taskmaster is gone, we can forget she was a thing and bring proper Taskmaster into the MCU. Thunderbolts is a breath of fresh air for the MCU. I mean it, this felt like a Phase 1, Phase 2 MCU film. A super fun movie all around. Cool, funny, relatable characters, phenomenal action, good writing, and really good humor. There are a lot of jokes, but they're not overblown like Thor 4. Like when Red Guardian cracks a joke, it doesn't take away the tension or dampen the seriousness of the situation. To sum it up, The Thunderbolts is a fun, bombastic superhero movie. They did a good job of showing off everyone's character. Everyone has a bit of development or a cool moment in the film. Yelena finding joy and happiness in her life, Red Guardian becoming a better dad, as well as Bucky and US Agent, both moving past their dark histories. The only one lacking in development is Ghost, because we never delve into her past or develop her. For other characters, we got flashbacks to get a vague idea of what their lives were like, in case you were unfamiliar with these heroes from the other movies and shows. Ghost doesn't really have anything like that, but she does get bonus points for killing not Taskmaster. The standout plot and character-wise is for sure Bob. Turns out this super lovable guy has powers and is known as Sentry, Marvel's equivalent of Superman. He can fly, has super speed, super strength, he's bulletproof, and he has additional powers such as telekinesis and force fields. Bob also unwillingly becomes the big threat of the movie, as he has depression and mental trauma. So when Valentina upsets him, he becomes this villain called the Void, who wants to pull everyone into his dark dimension where they're forced to relive their worst moments. This film does dive into things like mental health and the void you can fall into if you're depressed. Trust me, we've all been there. That's what makes this MCU film stand out compared to its 35 other movies. Our heroes all have a dark past, which is ironically what brings them all together. They've all been through the ringer and did bad things, but they're here now trying to do what is right, to be the heroes that people can look up to and rely on. The climax ends when Bob punches Void in the face. And don't we all wish we could punch depression in the face? In the end, Bob also represses his powers, which is a big part of his character. Sentry is probably the most powerful character in Marvel, but he's so afraid of hurting people he psychologically pulls his powers back. Seriously, there's this awesome scene where Sentry is easily taking down the Thunderbolts, who are all super soldiers by the way, in this super awesome one take. It's probably for the best that Sentry stays Bob for now. If you had a character this powerful in Avengers Doomsday, he would probably solve all the problems for you. It's the same reason why they held off on Captain Marvel in Avengers Endgame. The ending of this movie sees the Thunderbolts get their new team name, the New Avengers. That's why there's an asterisk in the title of the movie, because the name was a placeholder for their official name, the Avengers. And I totally guessed this reveal as soon as I saw that asterisk. The end credits were also hilarious, because we saw so many newspaper articles at the end saying they're not my Avengers or they're the B-Vengers. It's really funny. Also in the credits, Sam Wilson doesn't want this group calling themselves the Avengers, and he even trademarked the Avengers name so the Thunderbolts couldn't use it. So Red Guardian comes up with a solution direction. He says they should be the Avengers with a Z. Yep, I definitely want that to be their title now. The more interesting thing, however, is that they get alerted of a spaceship entering their dimension. One obviously belonging to the Fantastic Four. That could mean one of two things for the upcoming Fantastic Four film. One, they're going to the MCU to try and recruit heroes to help in their fight against Galactus. Two, Galactus destroyed their world and they're fleeing their destroyed universe to get to this universe. Either way, it is very interesting and way more intriguing than what we've gotten recently. As far as post-credit scenes go, I came into this movie with no expectations and found myself having a really good time. I saw a few reviews of this movie online, and while most of them agree with me this is a fun movie, a small portion of the internet is hating on it, saying it's the worst of the worst and it's bottom of the barrel. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but saying it's bottom of the barrel is simply not true. I think these channels are dunking on the Thunderbolts mostly because for years criticizing the lackluster MCU has become a way to get views and likes. But look in the comments of these videos and you'll see a ton of people defending the movie, saying it was very fun and they had a great time. I think this is really a shift in the right direction for the MCU. We've gotten a lot of mediocre MCU films in the last few years, but after Deadpool and Wolverine as well as the Thunderbolts, coupled with the upcoming Fantastic Four and Avengers 5 and 6, people want the conversation to change. We want Marvel to put out movies like the Thunderbolts, ones that did what the classic MCU movies did right, and that's give us iconic, unforgettable, awesome superhero movies. Now, when a film is bad, it is important that we criticize it, but it is just as important to praise and support films that give us what we want. Thunderbolts is getting praised and should be getting praised more, because this is where the MCU needs to go. You don't have to do anything complicated, just give us fun and exciting superhero movies, and that's what the Thunderbolts does best. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.